Hi, everybody. It's Marjorie Walda at Arts Garage, and today I am lucky enough to be sitting with JohnLee de la Peña. How are you, sir?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. I'm excited about your show.
I'm very excited about this is my first time going to perform. I mean, not perform, but it's my own show in a way that I'm going to perform at Arts Garage. It's really my pleasure.
Yeah, we're happy.
Honored.
You were kind enough to donate your time to two nice long sets during our give-a-thon earlier in December when we were raising money for our annual campaign. And your music, your voice, and your skill on the ukulele blew me away. So I'm really glad that you took the gig. I'm happy and excited. And your show is September
Absolutely.
23rd, right? At 8 p.m.
23rd 8 p.m. Yes, that's correct.
So people will be able to come in person. We have limited capacity, but people can come see the show in person, up to 90 seats. We don't know what it'll be in February, but based on the numbers, it's looking like it'll probably be about the same. Or they can buy a live stream ticket and watch from their homes. So September 23rd is the date they want to remember. Okay, JohnLee, so let's talk about you a little bit. So
Okay.
first, tell me about music. So you started performing or singing or playing an instrument when you were how old?
Almost about like 17, maybe almost 17 around that time. I started singing first in a band and in a church when I was younger. My mom, brought us to a church and, just that's pretty much how I started
A
singing.
lot of
Yeah.
performers start in the church. That's how a
Yeah.
lot of performers start when they're, especially when they're young and have an opportunity to sing. And it's what gives them the bug, the music bug. They really
Yeah.
have a positive experience doing that. That's really cool. So you started singing first when you were in your late teens, and
Yes.
you play the ukulele. Is that the only instrument that you play?
I started playing how to play guitar when I taught myself. I mean, my cousin taught me a little bit, and then it just, kind of taught myself to how to play guitar when I was that age, like 16, 17, 18. And then kind of I transitioned to like the ukulele, because of you the size of it, because I love to go to the beach, and I used to bring my guitars like massive, so I just carry that in there, and then it's all like metal string and stuff, and it's kind of always getting rusted really quick. And then I found out about the ukulele. A friend of mine showed it to me. I was like, this is actually perfect. So from that time on I got hooked and never put down the ukulele.
It works for me. I will tell you honestly that most of the time I feel myself when I'm listening to somebody play the ukulele, I'm craving the guitar because it's got a fuller sound sometimes. Not when you play, JohnLee.
Yeah.
You're really the blend of your voice, which is incredibly beautiful, and that instrument is really fantastic. Our audience is going to love it. You're a singer-songwriter genre. Do you write your own stuff as well?
Yes.
So what
I tend to write my own. Yeah. I didn't get that. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I
Pardon
didn't
me.
mean to cut you off either. I wanted to know what motivates you to write songs. Like, what's your passion or what inspires you to write your own?
I don't know, it's like most of the music that I've listened to, it fascinates me how they arrange songs and stuff like that. So I kind of like wanted to study it, and then how they write it, and I thought to myself, every time I think about like a one liner, I'll remember every time I thought about like a sentence, I'll be like, that's a good line. I will write it down. And sometimes some of my songs, I will write it down when I'm like, like I have a song called Laundry Room. I think I played it at the last show. And I wrote that when I was in the laundry room. So
That's really
it's
cool. So
just
it's
like a
kind of
thought of like,
real life
yeah,
experiences, sort of real life stuff captured.
absolutely.
That's really cool. So you
Yeah.
grew up in the Philippines on an island that I'm going to try to say. Um, Hold on. Bataan?
Yes.
Did I remember it right? Okay.
Yeah,
So it's
absolutely.
a province of the Philippines, and you grew up there and lived there till you were 18.
Yeah, until I'm almost 18. Yes.
And your family moved you to the United States. And what you say in your bio is that you sort of experienced a pretty serious culture shock.
Absolutely. Like the difference between, like a small country to moving into like a vast, massive country with lots of diversity. And, growing up, all I see is like mostly Filipinos, and you will see like different, different people from here and then, but not as much as here. And so that pretty much shocked me a lot. And I mean, back home, we kind of do understand English because we studied English like every school year we have an English class. So I kind of do understand English, but talking wise, like I struggle in that. Like the first year, I'll say when I was here, first, second year that I was here.
Yeah, well, you had what they call a full immersion experience to learn the language. I mean, that's a tough thing. And the older you are, the more inhibitions you have, the harder it is to learn a new language. So it's interesting because so many countries teach English with throughout your education. And our country doesn't really, unless you go to a school, an elementary school for little kids that focuses on a dual language program, most of us don't even touch a foreign language till maybe middle school, more likely high school, when your inhibitions are already in play and you're nervous about talking in front of people in the language. So I can imagine that being incredibly stressful for you coming here to do it. How did you do it?
Yeah.
What did you do?
I mean, first is I watched a lot of movies and then I put subtitles on it. So, and then I start pausing it. If I don't understand anything, I have like, like I have this small dictionary, and I will like pause it and then look at the words. And then I'm like, oh, that makes sense. This is how it, that's how I kind of like know the word by word. So if I don't understand it, I'll just look in dictionary and I was like, okay, that makes sense.
That's really impressive. That's really impressive. It's not something that a lot of people are willing to do. If you told my son to look up a word, he's 17. If you told him to look up a word in the dictionary, electronic or paper, he would not want to take the time to do that. It would interrupt. So it shows your commitment to becoming who you wanted to be. You wanted to absorb it, and you did.
Absolutely.
It's really cool.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So,
And then,
no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
oh yeah. And I like mostly, throughout the time, like I had friends, and then I'll tell my friends like, hey, if you heard me talking something different, or, like correct me, like, please correct me. I won't take it like, personally. I'm not going to get offended, just teach me like, so, a lot of people tend to like get a little frustrated when people, kind of like, correct them, not me, because I tell them like, teach me. And so I'll learn the language.
Isn't that interesting? I think that could be like a motto to remind ourselves of, like a self-talk. I believe in manifestation and self-talk and all those things. I think it can really change your outlook on life and help you sort of process the things that are going on around you. So I'll have a sticker on my mirror, or a note in my phone or whatever, that reminds me to think a certain way or to remember a certain thing. And I think teach me would be a great motto for people to keep in mind, because if you're open to learning, the world is your oyster. You can get anything. I think that's really cool.
Absolutely.
All right. So you started playing publicly at open mic nights.
Yes.
What do you like about open mic nights? Why do you like them?
I mean, when I was like learning how to play ukulele, because my first motive is like, when I was like going to like, bars, restaurants, I will see these musicians will play. I was like, I'm seeing myself doing that, because, and then I found out about an open mic. I was like, I don't even know what's open mic is. So I started Googling it and like, just to see what's open mic. So it says in there, like, description, you go in there, you play one song, two songs. So, it just happened to like, I was like Googling it and there's one nearby me. So I was like, you know what? I'm trying to do this. I never really performed anywhere, for the first time. So I did it. I mean, it was, it was an experience, a good experience.
Yeah, I think there is something magical about the relationship that the performer has with the audience. So when you were here doing the give-a-thon, there was only staff really, so there wasn't really an audience, but at your show, there will be an audience of some size. It'll be smaller than it would normally be, but there will be some people here to watch. And there's something really cool that happens when you're on the stage and you're seeing the energy that you're creating in the room through your art. It's really neat.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, okay. So I'm really glad you took time to talk to me. Everybody should remember that your show, JohnLee de la Pena, is September the 23rd at 8 p.m., both live stream and in person. So I hope everybody's going to come out and see you. And I know you're working on some band stuff, so maybe in the summertime we can get you and your band to come too for a different vibe. What do you do in the band? Are you the lead singer?
No, actually, I play. The idea of the band is like kind of like progressive in a way because like Eric can play the bass and sometimes he plays the percussion, and then Nikki, like mainly Nikki is the lead singer and player at the same time, and I kind of like have them and some a little bit of solo and backup vocals, and one friend of ours too, like named Obed. He does the percussion, and Tim, and he does the rapping side of it, which is a really cool blend of I don't even know what genre we can call ourselves. Maybe
Right.
Like I said, independent.
Right. Progressive is good. Independent, yep.
Progressive, yeah.
Eclectic, because it's a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll be curious to see how that project comes along. But in the meantime, I am super excited to have you, your voice, and your ukulele here on the 23rd at 8 p.m.
Absolutely. I'm so excited.
Thank you for taking the time today to talk to me. And as soon as the video's out, you can use it to share with all your friends and tell them about your show. Okay?
Absolutely.
Okay, JohnLee, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. My pleasure.
See you soon. Wait, JohnLee, I have been telling everybody that your show is September 23rd.
Is it in January?
It is January 23rd.
Yeah.
So this whole video, so I hope people watch till the end, and I'll make sure that our marketing team puts a big disclaimer to ignore Marjorie, and it's January 23rd, not September 23rd. So now I'm going to say goodbye, and I will see you in a couple of weeks.
I'll see you guys in a couple of weeks.
Okay. Thanks, JohnLee.
A little glitch in there. Yeah.
Just makes it interesting and real, right?